Yarny.
Hello, welcome back to Yarny. In this tutorial, you will learn how to make this nice 3D letter Y. It's very easy and it's very suitable for beginners. The only stitches you need to know for this project are the slip knot and chain, the single crochet, the increase technique, and the decrease technique. In terms of material, I'm using this Posh yarn by Big Twist. It's a bulky size. And then I'm using a crochet hook, a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Then you need some scissors to cut your yarn, and then just a yarn needle at the end to sew in the ends. To do the 3D letter Y, we will crochet 2 of these flat Y letters, and it's worked in 2 parts. So first of all, we will do this portion here all the way up and going on the left side here. And then we will join this part here and then work this other section. And so we will do 2 of these and then merge them together with single crochet all around the edges, and of course stuffing in the middle. As a start, we will do a slip knot and chain foundation. To do the slip knot, you take the tail end of your yarn, wrap it around your index finger, bring the tail end on top of the working yarn, which is the side of the yarn that's attached to your ball of yarn. Then you take the working yarn and wrap it around your index finger like this. Now you take the back loop forward, you have your slip knot. So tighten your slip knot. And now we will do 9 chains. So chains are very easy. Wrap the yarn around your hook, pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. So that's 1 chain. And then we do 9 in total. This will be our foundation chain. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, very simple for the row 1 all the way to row 12. So you have 12 rows of 8 single crochet in each row. So to do the single crochet, you will insert your hook inside the second chain from the hook. So the loop on the hook does not count as a chain. So you have 1 chain here from the hook that you skip, and then the second chain from the hook. Insert your hook in there. Wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it back through the chain. You have 2 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it through both loops. So you have 1 single crochet. Then do single crochet again in the next chain. So we have 2 single crochet and then another single crochet in the next chain. So now we have 3 single crochet. So we basically do 1 single crochet in each chain all the way until the end. We should have 8 single crochet in total. So now I have 4 single crochet, and I'm doing my 5th single crochet, 6th single crochet, then 7th single crochet. Then I just need to do 1 more, the last 8 single crochet of this first row. So now I'm moving on to row 2. So remember that between each row you want to chain 1, which will serve as a turning chain, and then you turn your project around because we want to work from the right side towards the left. So now I will continue doing 1 single crochet in each stitch to have 8 single crochet in total. So my first single crochet, second, then third, fourth, then 5th, and then 6th. So 7 single crochet of this second row, and then my last 8 single crochet of this second row. So basically that's what you do for row 3 all the way to 12. So just remember, chain 1 in between each row, turn your project around, keep adding 1 single crochet in each stitch for row 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'll meet you here at the end of row 12. So I'm at my last stitch of row number 12, my last single crochet here. So once row 12 is done, we move on to row 13. You would chain 1 in between each row, turn your project around. We will start with an increase. So the increase, very simple. We're putting 2 single crochet in the very first stitch of the row 13. So insert your first single crochet in this first stitch here, and then you do a second single crochet in this exact same stitch here where you just did the single crochet. So 2 stitch into 1 stitch is an increase. Now we're going to do 6 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then at the last stitch of the row, we're doing another increase. So 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So 1 single crochet in the last stitch, and then a second single crochet in this last stitch. So what the increase does here is that it was try to create this open, wider area here. So that's what the increase does. So now moving on to row 14, we will chain 1, turn your project around. So actually row 14 and 15 are very simple. We're going to do 10 single crochet in each row. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 here. So this is our row 14. Then we chain 1, turn our project around, and for row 15, exact same thing, 10 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this was row 15. Now moving on to row 16, we will chain 1, turn our project around. We will do an increase in the first stitch, 2 single crochet in the same first stitch. So 1 and 2. So once our increase is done, we're going to do 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you will have one last stitch unworked, and this will be an increase. So 2 single crochet in this last unworked stitch, which will make our increase stitch. Now chain 1, turn your project around. Moving on to row 17, again we will start with an increase. So 2 single crochet in the exact same first stitch here. Then we do 10 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 here. And then we will do an increase in the very last stitch. So 2 single crochet in this last stitch here. Now you will chain 1, turn your project around. For row 18, very simple, we're doing 14 single crochet. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So now that's row 18 done. We will chain 1, turn our project around, move to row 19. Again, we will do 1 increase at the very first stitch. So 2 single crochet in the very first stitch here. So 1, 2, and after that, very simple, we do 12 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then at the very last stitch here, we will do another increase, so 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So 1 and 2. So this is row 19. Now we chain 1, turn our project around. So row 20, we will do 1 increase in the first stitch, so 2 single crochet in this very first stitch here. Then we do 5 single crochet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we will do a decrease stitch. So a decrease stitch, we're basically merging the next 2 stitches together. So insert your hook under the next stitch, pull the yarn back through the stitch, and then insert your hook immediately in the following stitch. Pull the yarn back through the stitch, and you have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it through all 3 loops. So this is your decrease stitch, and this is your row 20, and that's it. So then you will chain 1, turn your project around, and we're going to work on row 21. And what this does here is that we're basically starting to work on this section here. So instead of working the whole row, we're moving this side here. So row 21, we're starting with a decrease. So insert your hook under the first stitch, pull the yarn back, insert your hook in the next stitch, pull the yarn back. You have 3 loops on your hook, wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it through all 3 loops. And then after your decrease, you do 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you should have a last stitch on the work. You will do an increase. So 2 single crochet in the exact same stitch here. So 1 single crochet and then another one, 8 second single crochet. So that's row 21. You will chain 1, turn your project around. Then row 22, very easy, just 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that is row 22. Now chain 1, and then we'll keep building on this Y here. We will do 1 decrease. So insert your hook under the first stitch, pull it back, insert your hook under the next stitch, pull it back, 3 loops on the hook, wrap the yarn around the hook, pull it through all 3 loops. And then once you're done with that, 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the last stitch of the row will be an increase. So insert 1 single crochet and then a second single crochet in this last stitch to do our increase. Now chain 1, turn your project around. We're going on row 24, very easy, 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 right here. Moving on to row 25, chain 1, turn your project around. We're going another decrease in the first stitch here, so merging the first 2 stitches together. and then we do 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then do an increase at the last stitch here. So 1 single crochet in the last stitch and a second single crochet in the last stitch. Then chain 1, turn your project around, row 26, very easy, 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, and 8. Chain 1, turn your project around, so you will do a decrease in the first stitch here, merging the 2 stitches together. Then we will do 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then the last stitch will be an increase. So 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Then chain 1. Now we're at row 28. So 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then as usual, chain 1, turn your project around. We will do a decrease stitch here as the first stitch. Then 5 single crochet again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you will do an increase in the last stitch, 2 single crochet in the same stitch, 1 and 2, and now chain 1, turn your project around. This will be the last row of this section here. It's going to be 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So once we're done with this section, we will just cut our yarn and just pull your hook like this. And so as you can see, this left side of the Y here is completed. And now we're just going to work on the right side for the second part. It's only 11 rows in total for the second part, so pretty quick. So for the second part, we're starting on this row here, and we're starting the row on working at this stitch here. So insert your hook under this first stitch here that you see, and then you will take your yarn, just wrap the yarn around your hook like this and pull it through the stitch, and then just use your fingers to hold the yarn still like this here, and then chain 1, and then in this very stitch that we just inserted our hook, we will do an increase. So 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochet in this exact first stitch, and then we will do 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When you arrive at the middle section here, you have 2 stitches unworked, and this will be a decrease. So merging the 2 stitch together, just like this. And this is your first row of part 2. Now this little yarn here, just make sure it's tight here. And you can also do a knot to make sure that this yarn here doesn't come loose. So I just make a loop here, pull the yarn through like this, and I bring it back to this side here. And then I just insert it inside the loop just to make my little knot. So this makes sure that this piece of yarn here that we joined will not come loose. So going back here, for row 2, you will chain 1, turn your project around. First stitch will be a decrease. And then 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. And then you'll have a stitch here that's unworked. You will do an increase at the very last stitch. So 1 and 2. Chain 1, turn your project around. For row 3, it's 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's row 3. Row 4, very simple. Chain 1, turn your project around. Again, we're going to start with a decrease, followed by 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. And then the last stitch that's unworked, we're going to do an increase. So 2 single crochet into the last stitch will be our row 4. Then chain 1, row 5 will be 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now chain 1, row 6, again start with a decrease. Then we follow by 5 single crochet. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And the very last stitch, an increase. So 2 single crochet in the last stitch. So this is row 6, chain 1, turn your project around. Row 7 will be 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now chain 1, turn your project around. For row 8, we're going to do a decrease, followed by 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the very last stitch, very easy, we're going to do an increase. So 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Now chain 1, row 9 will be 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're almost there. Chain 1, turn your project around, and then again we will do a decrease in the first stitch, and then followed by 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then the very last stitch of the row we're going to do an increase, so 2 single crochet in the same stitch, 1 and 2, and then chain 1. This will be our very last row. It's very easy. It's going to be 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 right here. So at this point here, basically, if this is your first Y, feel free to cut the yarn. But if this is your second Y, so like this first Y here that I did, I just cut all the yarn, right? And then this second one, we don't need to cut the yarn because we can use this here to merge the two Ys together. So at this point, take this other Y that you have here and then put the two one on top of each other and make sure it's perfectly aligned, at least on this top portion here that you will be joining here. And what we're doing is basically just single crochet all across the edges here. So I'll start here by inserting my hook in the two parts here. So as you can see, I have my hook through the two parts, and then do a single crochet. And then I just continue like this all the way so that the two parts can be merged together. And then you just do this all the way around. As you can see, all the way. And just make sure that before you shut everything, you just stuff your letter, 3D letter. You can use fiberfill or yarn scrap or anything else you have at home, cotton, to just fill up your project. So as you can see, I'm just merging these two sides together. And I just continue all the way from all the outer ends here. So go ahead and merge your Y together and don't forget to stuff your 3D project. And I'll meet you back here. So I just went all the way around here, and on my last stitch, I'll just do a slip stitch. So I'm inserting my hook in the last stitch, pull the yarn through the stitch and through the loop on my hook here. This will just make the last stitch flatter, and I'll just cut my yarn. So I'd make sure to fill my Y. And then for this piece here, I'll just use a yarn needle. And I'll just bring the yarn inside the project. And if you have other pieces of yarn randomly somewhere outside the project, just use a yarn needle to bring the yarn inside the project. So I just do this a couple times before I cut my yarn. So honestly, just like this, I think it's pretty good. So I just cut my yarn. And just like that, you have a nice crochet 3D letter Y. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share the video, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.